Hey everyone, welcome back to another Heavy Metal Diecast video, and we have one here again from DeAgostini in 1/72nd scale diecast. And it is, of course, obviously one of those magazine type ones, and it is still within the how that you normally buy it from your newsagent or wherever they were sold in your location, of course. And we have a Nakajima Ki-44 Shoki, or as the Allies call them, Tojo. Now, these were a Japanese fighter used during World War II, made by Nakajima, of course, and produced for the Imperial Japanese Army Air Force from 1940 to 1944. And 1,225 aircraft were built in all their variants, and none actually survived World War II. So you can not see one of these at all. But you can see this model. This has already got a hole in it, so we'll get stuck into this, I suppose. We might as well do it now. So our aircraft is one from the 3rd, I think it's Shutai, or Kutai, from the 47th Hiko Sentai, from Neramasu Airfield in 1944. Oh, what a wonderful year that was. Well, it does come with that awesome magazine, and we will check out some pictures because, you guessed it, it's in Japanese. But it does have some great detailed pictures in there. And if you're fluent in Japanese, that is bonus. But these are pretty cool. But we'll move that magazine out of the way and move this cover piece off as well, because we want to check out this little model in here. And it does look pretty cool. And obviously, this is how I normally sort of get most of mine, but I have got quite a few, as you just saw with the magazine. So what we'll do is we'll get this open and come right back. Alright, with this cut open, we get that base out of the way. We'll take that lid off, of course, and we have this little Ki-44 sitting in here nicely. It is in a nice sort of silver finish. I am wondering, that's probably meant to be like an aluminium finish. So you do have the normal landing gear options that these do provide you with, and a little baggie in there that does have some gear bay doors, of course. But what we'll do is these always come out really nice. We will grab the aircraft and check out that first before we check out all the landing gear options and other details. And this, boy, it does look pretty good. Just straight out of the packet. As I said, these are cheap ones. These are always pretty cheap to get, usually. I have been noticing some of these ones have been quite expensive, and I'm talking like pricey. So, like on eBay and stuff like that. But most of the time you can generally get these at a reasonable, normal sort of price, because the build quality are not, super fantastic, but they're pretty cool because they do make a lot of the obscure aircraft, as I usually make note of that when I do make these recordings, and if I am repeating myself a lot, I do apologise for that, but this does look pretty cool. It does have some reasonable panel lines on there. It does look very nice. There is no pilot figure in this. It does have some nice tail markings there. We will swing this aircraft around. And the paint application itself is really nice. A little bit of engine detail there. Nothing, too fancy. We will flip this little Japanese aircraft over, and it already has some ordnance affixed on this, so you don't have to do anything. A very unusual colour in the wheel well for that main landing gear. Very strange. But the overall finish on this is very nice. Obviously, tail wheel goes in there, and we'll have to affix some landing gear. And a propeller, of course. But yeah, all right, we'll quickly go and do that. We will put some bits and pieces back on this aircraft to make it a whole aircraft, and we'll come right back and check it out all complete. All right, here we have the Tojo set up for in-flight. I don't know who comes up with these names, but sometimes they are quite funny. Propeller spins very freely. That's how freely you can just blow on it, and it spins very well. You do put a little aerial on the top there in front of the canopy. I've always been a little bit weird about why some aircraft manufacturers do put their aerials in front of the canopy, but it's like that. So, and then you put the main landing gear bay door covers on, which is no drama. They slip straight in there. And of course the tail wheel cover, that goes straight in, and that is your Ki-44 set up for in-flight, and she does look pretty cool, definitely. For a cheap budget aircraft, this does set up quite nicely. While it was cheap and budgety when I bought it, I don't know what the prices for these are at the moment. And of course, for you in-flight people, if you want to put it on your stand, because you're going to have to, you just chuck it in the stand hole. And it does have a little bit of detail on that stand, and that is your Ki-44 Shoki set up for in-flight, and that is job done for you guys. And look, overall, I think this is a pretty cool looking aircraft by DeAgostini. They've done not bad a job at all for a cheaper sort of budgety version. And sausage finger test, you know, it's not too bad a size for a World War II fighter. But, of course, it is not how I like to see mine. So what we'll do is we'll chuck some landing gear on this and go off and do that now, and we'll be right back. All right, here we have it, gear down. Very straightforward process. Well, sort of. You have these tiny little gear bay doors here. Those things are really hard to put on. I spent the majority of setting this up trying to put those on. The main landing gear themselves, they drop straight in without a drama. Although they do look extremely flimsy. I have not put this on the deck yet, so I do not know if it'll hold its weight, because this has got a little bit of weight to it. And then with the tail wheel, you put the gear bay covers first in for that tail wheel gear bay door covers, and then you put that tiny, and when I say tiny, this has got to be the smallest tail wheel I've seen for a long time. This is a real small tail wheel. So I don't know if the actual aircraft did have really small tail wheels, but this model does. The gear down sort of look, I suppose, if I'm being honest, probably doesn't look as good as the in-flight, I suppose. It probably does set up a little bit nicer in-flight. There's another win for you fly guys. But gear down, it still looks all right, and I'd present this like this. It does look pretty good. It's just that it does look a little bit flimsy and a little bit of pain in the arse to chuck those ones in, those little tiny gear bay door sections. But the proof's in the pudding. Let's see if we can put this on the deck and see how she sits. Yeah, already. That does suck a little bit. So let's see if we can put this back on and try that again and see how she sits. That one doesn't like to stay in place. It's going. I'm pushing in pretty bloody hard now, and I don't want to snap that at all. So that is a little bit of a disappointment. But no, look, you can't win them all. These are cheaper versions. But that is unfortunate. But, well, it's got some landing gear issues. But, look, to be honest, if you glued that landing gear into position, or, you know, some white glue or a permanent super glue, it would sit there without a problem. It's only because the weight of this aircraft is pushing that gear down and out of its position, because the hole that it slots into isn't quite deep enough for that to sort of go in and get a good fix on it. But look, overall, I still think this is not bad aircraft. It's not, you know, it's not the most brilliant build in the world, but I still think it is pretty reasonable. And of course, your model might fit perfectly. I always say the diecast gods do roll against me at times. A lot of times when I do have issues, you know, you might find yourself with getting your own. You won't have the same issue. Yours might go together perfectly. But in flight, very good. Mine, gear down, not so good, mine. So, all right, guys, I will take some photos of this, of course, and chuck them on at the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video at all, throw us one of those if you can spare the time. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what you see. Once again, thank you so much for spending, of course, your valuable time in checking out another one of my videos. Hopefully you made it to the end. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. You all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers.